everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. What a game we have for you here. The first meeting of the year between two of the NFL's most hostile divisional rivals. This matchup always among the most anticipated games of the regular season. It's the Giants going up against the Eagles. With that, let's get out to Lincoln Financial Field. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton, and Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Fresh set of downs here.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
I think a lot of people are a little bit surprised here that they ran the draw after that successful pass play previously, but the thought process had to be, maybe we can catch him rushing the passer and hit something big with the running play.
Throwing is Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well. Every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
And incomplete as the screen there unsuccessful. So now 4th down coming up.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Well, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. They'll run. It's Vereen. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Here's Brad Wing now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Now Sproles. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Eagles take possession. And Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. On second down, here's Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. Call it a 3-yard gain, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And that is incomplete. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. Now 4th down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first...
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. And out now come the Eagles. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Play action to Sproles. Wentz finding time. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Philly. 41 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Wentz now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to the running back, and when you get one set perfectly, you have to catch the ball. And that didn't happen on that play. Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Now let's go. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And Parkey's kick is good. And that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0. So it's our first offensive points of the game so far, and it gives us a very rare scoreline. We don't see this one often, 5-0.
Yeah, it's been sort of a weird one to this point, hasn't it? But hey, in this league, you take points any way you can get them.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. He could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning. I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out.
Let's go! 3-19!
Blanchard. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And now the Eagles offense back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They go play action here on first down. It's caught by Randall. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds. And
that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point, because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. And he connects with Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll keep this one away from Sproles as this is angled toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Here now another look at the rookie Carson Wentz leading his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Ertz has it left side. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, Yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there.
All right, here we go.
Play action to Sproles. Wentz. He'll buy some time right. And he hits his man, Matthews. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pickup of 21, and it'll be a Philadelphia first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Blanchard. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got time. He's going to float this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Out of the gun now on third down. Surveying the field. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Here's Brad Wing now. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for New York. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
All right, here we go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Now out come the Giants. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Back to throw now on first down. Cruz has it over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Sturgis able to knock it through. So we come upon half. And Larry apparently very brief in his report. Thanks anyway, my man, as we're already set for action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. New York set to take the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he is down deep into Giant territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 73 yards. And he is enjoying another fine performance just like a week ago. I mean, let's be honest, when he's playing like this, it creates a lot of matchup nightmares.
And it really does, because it creates a ton of headaches. You try to design so many coverage for a guy like this, but truthfully, he should have an answer to anything that's thrown at him. If you throw a linebacker at him, he should have speed and agility on his side. If you throw a defensive back against him, he should have size on his side. So no matter what you throw at him, he should have the final answer. And in his last 2 games,
he has.
Oh, boy, has he ever. Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On second down, here's Wentz. And that is incomplete. He was looking there for Reuben Randall, and it's 3rd and short.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Wynn's going to try and throw on third. And this is going to be incomplete. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on third down after having such a long drive going.
Yeah, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
This will be caught at about the 6. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And that will force a turnover on downs. Though certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
And now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
He finds Beckham complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Blanchard finding time. And that is incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Throwing on first is Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Back to the air on on second down. Wentz. And this is Hurts with it, right side. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. On first down, Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They'll get 16 yards there. And it'll be first down, Eagles. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And he's brought down after a good game. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
All right, here we go.
From the red zone now, Wentz. Now they go screen, it's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the pass.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be second down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with third and just a yard.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well. Because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in your offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, hello, my name is Mike.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They'll run it now out of the gun. Ooh, with a juke. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Second down following the incompletion. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Caught. It's Cruz left side. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here.
One thing I can say pretty safely, That route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They come out here in the eye. Going to give this time to the tailback. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have got it back to a 1-score game.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard and the time left on the clock? As you noted, so many things to go through.
And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They have the football. They're looking good, but the lead is just 2. So any mistake in a field goal can beat you. They got to be careful.
And that's where it gets difficult because you don't want that to leak into your thinking.
And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use. So 2nd and 10 here. And once again, they go with Sproles. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And this offensive unit, they have to face a 3rd down and 12 now. They'll come out in the pistol. Wentz to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate. Except if you're playing on defense, because they picked up a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
Back to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 7 on the play. And it's a 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. That'll go as a loss of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. He'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's brought down after a good game. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. Over the middle here to Donnell. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow. Did you see them hold up 4 fingers to the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. On the return now, it's Josh Huff. And an alley to run. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Josh Huff in the final minute. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. They had just lost the lead. That deficit sure didn't take long to erase. They return the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown.
Love the thunderbolt that just came out of that one. That puts them in the end zone and back in the lead. Your only question, your defense just gave up a score that put you behind. Will that score you just added on the board will energize them? Or do they have to go back out there and they're a tired unit? We'll soon see.
And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion.
Back to that Philly. Here we go. Let's go. 3-19. 3-19. Back to that Philly. Here we go. Hurry up. Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And before the conversion attempt, we'll get a timeout call by the offense. And that'll leave them with only 1 remaining in this second half. And they will line up now for the 2-point try.
Check. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Wentz going to look to throw. Flush to his right. And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the 4th.
As we prepared for these games, we've noticed offensive coordinators have had an expanded playbook on 2-point conversion tries because they never know when they may have to use it during a game.
But that also means the defense probably has more for these situations too, right?
Oh, no doubt about it. I think for the most part, defenses will be aggressive on 2-point tries. They want to get after the offense and make them force the issue.
And here the defense wins. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. He's back to throw. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
False start, offense. Still 3rd down.
A long way to go here for the offense on 3rd down after the penalty. 3rd and 15. They'll send Beckham alone to the left
All right,
side.
here we go. Green 39.
Blanchard. He finds Beckham complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10.
Hey. All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
A It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Back to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Here we go now.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.